Hello, welcome to another episode of Somewhere Between a film and TV podcast. We're your host. I am Daniel Parra.
And I'm Erwin Trejo.
And number one, thank you so much for listening.
And number two. Sorry,
What's number two?
I don't know.
Number two, if you could, please leave a review for us on either Apple, Spotify, wherever you can. If you like us, and even if you don't, remember, 5 stars is the worst you could give it and the best you could give it. Isn't that right?
Number 3.
Are you making like a list on that?
I don't know why. I just love when like certain, I guess what ads or episodes or shows would do that.
Like Watch Mojo.
Yeah,
It's like true. Number 10 on the list of, I don't know, like worst something, right?
I don't know. It's like worst romantic movies of all
worst
time.
Erwins I know. Number 1.
I only know one Erwin, and he's bad.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
What do we like to do here, Erwin?
Make fun of my name?
No, not all the time. That's
So
not the
there's
only
times?
thing. Yeah.
All right.
What we like to do is review movies, TV shows, and sometimes we'll get off topic, but eventually we'll circle back around.
Or triangle.
Do you know what we're reviewing this week?
Yes.
Can you say the full title?
No. Wait. I'll try. The Ministry
Uh-huh.
of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Isn't it awesome that they did the title drop at like the end of this movie?
Yeah, it was great.
What are we, some kind of Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
I love how David Ayer had no control over that movie he tried to make.
You love that he had no control over it?
Wait. Okay, I know what I said. Yeah. Because he gave us that. I mean, I don't even know what certain scenes from Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
The 2016 one.
There's a whole list somewhere out there in the world that I'm
Yeah.
sure you could look for that says what's his and what isn't. Because I know that even the Snyder Cut, before that had come out, had its own thing too. I noticed that Rebel Moon Part 2 is out right now.
Yeah.
And apparently it's like terrible.
But why is it? Is it the same issues as
the same issues as the first one, in which Netflix, and I do kind of fully blame them for this. Hopefully it's not Zack Snyder that, although he agreed to it, is he said that he even used worse takes in the not theatrical version, or it's not theatrical at all, the not director's version of it. So the director's cut will have the definitive everything to it, even better takes.
Dude, why though?
I don't know. I don't know if Netflix was trying to aim for like a release the Snyder Cut thing again.
Yeah.
Or if they were trying to manufacture some kind of hype for it or whatever. I have no idea, to be honest with you. We're intentionally not watching those so we can review all of them at once with the extended versions whenever those come out.
I hate extended versions.
But I like extended versions of things.
Why if that's like your final cut, like what you imagine your movie should be like, it should be released that way instead of just like waiting for it to come out the way you intended.
For me, it's a case-by-case basis because Lord of the Rings, you can't exactly release 4.5-hour movies into theaters.
I mean, they've released movies that are like 3.5.
Yeah, but these are like 4.5.
I mean, people, if it's good, people are gonna wait for it.
I think it just depends. I don't even know the last movie that was released that was 4 hours that was in a theater. I did finally get to see those, like the extended editions in a theater, because they were doing them weekly when I lived in San Marcos when I went to college there. But Killers of the Flower Moon was like 3.5. The Irishman, although we got to see that in like a limited theatrical run. But I don't know. It just depends. If you try and manufacture this idea that things are supposed to be extended or not, I don't like it, which sounds like that's the case here. Yeah. But if it's a situation like the Snyder Cut, that's a whole different topic.
Oh, yeah.
And that...
Well, that's a cut, though. Yeah. Not extended. So.
No, that was just kind of straight up a different movie. It's a whole argument to be had there about that. But anyway, we also want to shout out someone this week. Remember, if you do review us on either Instagram or Spotify, and then you send a picture and DM the Instagram account at Somewhere Between Film, again on Instagram, we will shout you out on the show.
Instagram.
Before we say the that is not
they call me Elementary, middle school, high school, now school.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where I am.
Unfortunate for you, I guess. The coaches called me Para.
Para.
Yeah. We went to a white school.
Or, I know, coaches would say Trejo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They would say Trejo. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. Sounds good to me.
And then it's like, I don't know, but they got Rodriguez, and they would understand, like...
Well, because it's probably, like,
the most common...
baseball player's name
Gonzalez.
or something.
Yeah, there's like a million baseball players with those two last names.
Damn stereotypes.
Hey, my last name, a famous baseball player has it.
What famous player?
Para.
Oh.
Obviously.
I mean, I wouldn't...
I don't know
baseball players,
And he's also a soccer player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we are reviewing The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, directed by Guy Ritchie. And everything we review will always have full spoilers.
You like that?
It was all right.
Okay. All right.
Erwin, what's your experience with Guy Ritchie movies? How many of them have you?
It's like, what's your experience with Guy Ritchie himself? I'm like, never met him.
He could be the nicest guy in the world. I wouldn't know it. Have you seen any of his other stuff?
I can't recall. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm gonna list it off to you.
All right, go ahead.
Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2.
Yes, I've seen both of those.
Okay. What do you think of those?
Well, I actually enjoy those movies.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're really fun.
Okay. Why are you interrogating me?
What's your issue with?
Nothing. I just like I love.
King Arthur.
No.
Okay, that movie sucks.
Okay.
It's if you were to say you liked it, we'd have to stop the recording right now. Be like, Erwin, I need to set you aside, and we need to talk.
We need to talk right now.
There's Snatch.
The song?
What?
There's a song called Snatch.
Is it really?
Yeah.
By who?
I don't remember, but it's really good.
It's probably based off of the title, because this is like a 90s movie.
No, it's a song that I think released like a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's Lock, Stock, and Barrel, I think is the name of it.
No.
Okay. Aladdin.
No.
The new one, not the...
No, I haven't seen that one either.
The Gentleman.
No.
Okay. So you've not seen a whole lot of his stuff then.
Yeah, I guess I'm realizing that now.
All right. So in terms of the Sherlock Holmes movies then, what do you like about them? And what kind of distinction of visual style and directing off your memory did you notice is in this one as well?
I guess like how every character felt so unique in their own ways, and the style, the way that at least Guy Ritchie directs. He directs it in a way where it seems very fast paced, and he throws information right at you. Yeah. But the way it's either cut around like scenes, they're very fast paced. Yeah. And so you feel like the story's moving on right away, and so it doesn't feel dragged on throughout. Yeah.
So in the 90s, when Quentin Tarantino was blowing up, I thought it was funny. Have you seen like what he got himself into like recently? What everybody's talking about the other day.
He says he's not gonna.
So he originally wanted to make that movie that they were talking about, his 10th and final one. Yes. And then I guess somebody leaked the information of what it was going to be about.
Oh, I didn't know that. What is it?
So I cannot quite remember the details of what the actual movie was called. Mm-hmm. But it was supposed to... Is it just called The Critic? I think it was supposed to be like a... Yeah. That's what it was going to be set in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood universe, and Brad Pitt was supposed to be in this one again as the same character. Okay. And it was supposed to be the same kind of like loving homage to movies. And everyone is like, hey, you know, the only person that's telling you you have to make 10 movies is yourself. Yeah. Like you can just go ahead and say, hey... that was a lie the whole time. Or some other people are like, you know...
I just don't think he's going to make 10 movies. If I genuinely believe that if you're a film director or writer, let's say, right, and you're very passionate about what you love, like, why put a restriction on yourself like that, too?
It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if it's because he was trying to make this sort of legacy for himself to be like, this director with only 10 movies. Yes. But he already has a legacy for himself. Yes. And Steven Spielberg and David Fincher, David Fincher hasn't made 10, I don't think, yet. Yeah. But literally every, like, one of his peers and colleagues, Martin Scorsese, they haven't done that. They've
Yep.
made like way more than 10, so I don't know what his stigma is around that.
I think it's probably because of the fact of how other people are saying like, oh my gosh, I wonder what your last movie's gonna be. It's like, oh no, like he's almost done. He only has 3 movies left, 4 movies left, 2 movies left, and all. And so I think he's very pressured into thinking that, wow, is this really gonna be my last movie?
The funniest thing about that is I agree with people that, like, if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood were to have been his last movie, it would have made perfect sense. And a lot of people are saying, they're like, hey, we think the reason why he's kind of stuck in this is because he already made his perfect last movie to him in his own way. Because I do agree with that. I do think that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is understandably some people's favorite of his.
Oh, okay.
And I think that movie will only get better with age and time. I already thought it was perfect when I saw it, but it really is not just a loving homage to movies, but like to actors, the way Hollywood works, the kind of like weird sort of underlying issue and stuff that some of it has.
Austin Butler was in it.
He was in that.
He played what's that murder called?
Tex, right?
I don't know.
I just remember he's because Brad Pitt's like, oh, you're the one with the stupid name or whatever it is that he says.
Something, I don't remember what.
The reason why Quentin Tarantino's on my mind though is because in the 90s, whenever he blew up, when he got onto the scene, he made Reservoir Dogs, there were a lot of people that kind of wanted to copy his style, and they wanted to sort of copy his very quick-witted conversation manner. And I don't know if you noticed some of the dialogue being like that in this. Yes. Because there is one moment specifically where, what is it that they're talking about that it really reminded me of it? It had to do with, it was a conversation about food. And yes, it was the German taking over, and then they have black bread and sausage and cabbage. And
I didn't feel that way. I felt it when they were talking about the change of plans when they found out about the ship. I felt that was quick. Yeah. Because it was just back and forth with different locations and different characters. I felt it there.
Yeah. Well, that is Guy Ritchie's style. Okay. So the reason why I think Guy Ritchie was able to sort of create his own kind of tangible sense of style, like if I were to show you The Gentleman and you didn't know who it was that directed it, I bet you'd be able to tell who directed that. Like based off of what you've seen here, how would you describe the style?
Jeremy Strong is in The Gentleman.
I love Jeremy Strong, like a lot. He's in that. You haven't seen that?
No.
It's really good. It's really, really good. So
Matthew McConaughey's in that.
He is, yeah. Yeah. So is Henry Golding, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, what did you...
Oh, that one guy from Sons of Anarchy?
Charlie Hunnam?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. He likes to do the thing that Quentin Tarantino and Wes Anderson do, where they keep a bunch of their actors and they keep moving them over and over to different movies. Yeah. His favorite guy to work with is definitely Jason Statham. Okay. And
if I also love Jason Statham.
I do too. He's one of the bald people I'm cool with.
Name all bald people right now.
Oh no, Pitbull.
Damn.
The Rock.
Really, Pitbull? That's your first.
Yeah, he's super bald. Austin Butler sometimes.
That one time.
The one time. He was super pale and bald. Although he looks not bald in The Bike Riders. He has hair in that.
Dude, I'm still waiting for that movie to drop. I was so excited.
It's because I love that trailer. Yeah. I don't know what Tom Hardy's thing is with voices. but
I think Tom Hardy's definitely my top 5 actors.
I think he's incredible in everything he does. No matter how whatever the movie is. Looking at you, Venom.
Dang. Venom movies are okay.
They're okay. They're nothing, but they're okay.
I don't understand how they make $1 billion each time. But...
Yeah, but we say that every time. And then Venom 3 is going to come out. And then we're going to be like, if it's anything like the first 2, we're going to be like, so are these just going to keep being like this?
Oh, and man.
I like the title for it.
What's it?
Venom: The Last Dance.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like I don't know why it's called that.
Yeah. How do you say the Joker sequel?
Folie à deux. Yeah, it's a French thing.
Okay. What does that mean?
I looked it up. I looked it up and I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
So, if you were to describe the sort of overall style of this movie, how would you think that Guy Ritchie... Messy?
Yeah.
Is this in a good way or in a bad way?
Bad way. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Messy in a good way.
You think like what? Like it's all over the place?
Yeah, at certain moments, it definitely feels all because it reminds like what you said about or whenever you mentioned about Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Because that's what I remember about those movies too, where it was definitely fast paced and the conversations were very quick, but the editing style of it too, where it just keeps going back and forth.
Yeah.
And it seems very messy at first, but since it happens so often throughout his movies, that you definitely pick up what he's trying to like
put down.
I would never say that. I mean, woo, thank God.
You're the one that started saying it.
Yeah, but you're the one who finished it, so.
Yeah, I'm just helping you out. So
I felt like I was just in a Guy Ritchie scene right now.
I love Guy Ritchie's movies. The first one I ever saw. What?
Guy?
I love Guy. It's like, which one? There are a whole lot of them out there in the world.
Remember the nice guys?
I know a guy named Guy.
Who? Pierce?
No, that's an actor.
Oh.
I actually know a man named Guy.
Who calls himself Guy?
It's his first name. He
Why?
didn't call himself that. He's legally named that.
But why?
Why is your name Erwin? I don't know.
Dude, what? I told you. That's the second time.
Why is my name Daniel? There, I'll throw you there.
That doesn't feel genuine. Dude, I want Don Chicken.
I love Mr. Ritchie's movies. And
is he really rich?
Probably. He's a director. The first one I ever saw of his was definitely Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Though, and
I think the amount of times I've seen Sherlock Holmes is insane.
So
My
I
parents
remember
love that movie.
Before, I think I saw it in theaters. I don't really quite remember if I did or not. Actually,
I definitely saw the second one in theaters.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember seeing the trailer all the time for that one because you're like, haha, Robert Downey Jr. is in a dress or whatever it is that's going on in that trailer. It's like the one thing I remember. That and Jude Law's in those. I used to have an obsession with Sherlock Holmes actually because of that first movie. And then I really liked the Benedict Cumberbatch show. And then Henry Cavill is actually Sherlock Holmes.
Enola Holmes.
In Enola Holmes, which I still have not seen those, but I've heard that they're fun.
Oh, okay.
Both of them. But anyway,
I love Henry Cavill.
I also love Henry Cavill. He's definitely, we're going to get to like the standouts of this, but like in terms of the three actors that are in this, he's definitely like the one of the three that
Only
are
three?
That are like my favorites.
Only three of them stood out to you?
Well, like that were my favorite overall characters in it.
Okay.
Maybe four, because I really liked Henry Golding, but we'll get to it.
Okay.
And I always think that this director specifically...
Henry Golding was in Gentleman.
Yeah. I just told you that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the trailer for the movie.
That you've only seen the trailer
Yeah,
for,
I've only seen the trailer.
not the movie.
Well, yeah.
But yes, he does have a very specific sense of style. What changed from him being a copycat of Quentin Tarantino is he has a different sort of energy in his editing, like you said, in his movies. I feel like these are always ensemble pieces. Every single one of his movies has a million different characters in it.
Those are my favorite.
Really?
I really enjoy when movies have like an ensemble cast and they just feel so unique and different. And I like how the banter between each character shows.
And how they
those are my favorite scenes when
interact with each other.
Yes.
And I always like characters that not necessarily even feel lived in, but they do feel like this is a very distinct type of person that's in this. Because in this movie, do you technically know a lot about each of the people? No, not really. But does that matter all that much? Not a lot either. It's just about the presence of getting to be with these people and following along with the things that they do throughout this movie. But in terms of the editing of all his other stuff, some of them are even more chaotic than this one. And it's really up to you to determine if you get on the wavelength of him. He's one of those directors that some people do accuse of being more style than substance. And that's definitely true, but also I gravitate towards movies like that a lot.
With their unique style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if something has more style than it does substance, and I know that and I can feel that, then that's fine. There's really no issue there if the presentation is so good.
Yeah, it reminds me of what's his name? Nicholas Winding Refn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like Only God Forgives is really good.
It's stylish.
I love Neon Demon.
Oh yeah.
And Drive, of course.
Drive?
I know the He's So Me movie of all time.
Anytime Ryan Gosling just shows up, he's so me.
The Fall Guy thing, whenever he's like making that joke about kissing her in the car or whatever, I'm like,
I'm like, I think I've said that before. It's like, oh yeah, I don't like making out, just talking.
Yeah, just getting to know you.
Oh yeah, just for your personality.
But I love a lot of the stuff he's done, except for like two things, which is King Arthur.
Okay.
Which I don't know what went wrong with that movie. I think he was trying to transition into blockbusters, and it just did not quite work. Because he used to be a bit more like his movies used to have a bit of a rougher edge to them.
Yeah.
This one is rated R, and I do kind of think he's blending both of his styles that he has, because he's more of I would compare him to the early Matthew Vaughn. I definitely got Kingsman energy from this movie also.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yes, I can see that.
And the reason why I am bringing this up, I'm telling you in advance before I say it.
You didn't even tell me
This
in
is
advance.
the type, I'm telling you right now. This is the type of feeling I was expecting from Argyle when we.
How dare you!
And I'm also bringing that up because Henry Cavill was in that.
Damn.
And if you very briefly want to tell me what you thought of the movie Argyle.
You didn't even tell me. I'm giving you heads up, me not knowing what it is.
I called you on the phone the other day and I was like, I'm letting you know right now. I'm going to bring up Argyle.
I don't remember those conversations.
Do you remember Argyle though?
Yeah. I still do.
I was disappointed. Like,
it's just, oh man, it just sucks. It just sucks knowing what Matthew Vaughn is capable of doing. Yeah. And then what came out of Argyle is insane to me, especially with the cast that was in it.
There's like a million people in that movie. I do think, I remember we both kind of had the same reaction to that, where it was the first half, we were like, I don't know if it was trying to be very forgiving of whatever it was we were watching, or the stuff with like John Cena and Dua Lipa and Henry Cavill. I was like, Henry Cavill, so obviously.
Yeah, and then it's like, John Cena, that's great.
And then they go away.
And then Dua Lipa is like...
And then the movie...
Wait, what are your thoughts on Dua Lipa?
I'm really excited for her new album.
Oh, I mean, what do you think of her?
She is a great artist. Did you see her new music video?
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I haven't. What did you think of the music video with her?
It was cool. The production design is really good in those.
Yeah.
I think music videos are a lost
Well, what
art.
about her, though?
What about her?
Yeah, just like, what do you think of her?
I like Dua Lipa. What are you talking about?
Okay.
What do you think of Taylor Swift?
No? Yeah, I like some of her songs.
Do you like the new album?
I haven't listened to it.
Have you seen some of the lyrics from it?
I was gonna ask you. I was like, "Is that real?" Like,
they're all real, yeah.
the one I'm thinking
Not the one about like hot dog water, but the one.
Okay, I did not see that one. What are you looking at?
The internet.
The one with.
Guys, remember everything on the internet is true.
The one lyric that said "Grand Theft Auto."
Yeah, that's real.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you like it?
No, I don't know.
What did you think of this movie?
I love Lana Del Rey.
Okay. That's on your bracelet, right?
Yeah.
Every time I see it, Erwin, I think it says Anal Del Rey.
Really? Well, yes. I don't know if that's better or the one where someone goes Lana Del Gay every single time. And I'm like, all right.
I like mine.
I like mine because I said it.
It's like the way people, sometimes people do the sun butt thing.
The sun butt thing? Who are you hanging out with?
It's like a yoga thing you do outside where you get naked and you put your legs like behind your head, the way you're looking at me.
Dude,
and
what?
Then the sun like shines.
Oh, what? What are you talking about?
My Saturdays.
Your Saturdays. Hey, I can't hang out with you guys.
What is it called? Sun bleaching?
All right, what were you asking me before?
What did you think of this movie?
Of
the Ministry.
Oh yeah, that one. The one with the title.
Yeah, the one with the title.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the cast. Of course, my favorite actor is Henry Cavill. I love that guy.
Yeah, me too.
And then I really want to get into watching Jack Reacher now after watching Alan Ritchson.
Alan Ritchson.
Ritchson. Okay.
Have you seen the trailer? Not the trailer. The poster for season 2 of Reacher.
Is it just his back?
And it says Reacher's back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good title. Or not title, whatever it is.
The tagline?
Yeah, tagline, yeah.
So, unlike Master Your Element, whenever I was telling you that I like that one. Well, it's cool.
I don't know.
So.
They better make are top blind. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know why you're like so hung up on that.
Because I just don't know if it's true or not.
Well, we'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
So I always have like this theory that the first Guy Ritchie movie you see is gonna be the one that blows your mind, basically.
Yeah.
Like, because for me, these movies kind of exist in a sort of a 14-year-old kid sees like an R-rated movie, and it's like this. I think it'll blow whoever that is, like, their mind.
Yeah.
Because I remember my first Quentin Tarantino movie I ever saw, I was 13, and it was one of the first R-rated movies I ever saw in a theater. It was Django Unchained, and that like was revolutionary for me. Do you remember like the first R-rated movie you ever saw in a theater?
No, I don't. I don't know. I really don't remember what my first R-rated movie was. If I remember at home, and it was like one of the Freddy movies.
Oh, my first ever R-rated movie at home was Open Water, the shark movie.
No.
Which makes sense for me. My first ever R-rated movie in a theater was Watchmen.
Watchmen?
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to watch
Watchmen. Who watches the Watchmen?
Yeah.
Not Erwin.
No, I did. I've seen it.
I still remember. Cut. No, because I had to close my eyes for like half that movie because there's way more sexual stuff than you'd think.
And then, hey, my parents did the same thing to me.
About that movie?
Yeah.
I remember being so excited for it, and then the trailer, there's a moment where they like snap the guy's arm and then in like the alley, and I was like, what is this? And then I was like begging my parents for them to take me to see it. And then I think my parents gave up on Dr. Manhattan being naked because
dude, I still remember when you told me about how he's naked.
Yeah.
And just straight up you could just see his penis.
Like half the movie.
Yeah. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then when I watched it again, it's like that's all I could see. And I was like, oh my god.
Because I
just didn't realize it.
It's blue.
And it's back. Reacher's back.
I also really liked this movie. I don't know if I like loved it, but I thought it was very energetic. I really liked its style.
Yes.
I had some minor like issues here and there. There's sort of not pacing issues. I think it does kind of get a little bit slow in moments.
I say it's only slow for me is when it's because of the other characters. Because there's so many characters in this movie that so if they don't stand out, then it drags.
Yeah.
And so that's the only time I ever felt like it slowed down for me. Yeah. But other than that, it was very quick.
What was really interesting to me was my feelings with that up to a point. But I thought they were able to navigate these two different stories that are going on really well. Because the more tense part of this movie, where it feels like almost it could have been its own thing, is the stuff with Eiza Gonzalez.
Oh, yes.
And I really liked that part of the movie. The more it goes, the more intense it gets, I think.
Do you like how she was Jewish?
In this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's part of like the point of the movie.
But she's not Jewish.
In real life?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes actors can play things.
Or German.
Oh, yeah. She's Mexican.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on
Mexicans?
that? No. Well, you are.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
No, what are your thoughts on actors? Like, let's say someone is not blind and they play a blind person.
Oof. Dang, that's hard because of course like there's actors and actresses who are blind that can act and can do so. I don't know. I think it's just hard because at the end, movies are a business too. Yeah. And I understand that, but it's also the creative aspect and like trying to like make sure that you're also playing favor for the roles of that of like somebody who is blind. Yeah. But I don't know. I can't. It's hard.
It's a difficult question to think about because you always want the person to be able to play that if they can. But then, like you said, sometimes Hollywood just doesn't listen, and then they
these like if they know that people are gonna come and watch a certain actor or actress in that movie, and it's gonna generate revenue. Like, why wouldn't you?
I think that's become kind of part of the issue of it too, is that sometimes you want new names in Hollywood and they're not really giving people that amount of time or chance to get to do it. But also we think about things from like an independent film perspective and then there's always ways that people can come to new stardom, more or less. But this is one of those types of movies that's kind of the complete opposite of that. It's like an ensemble cast with a bunch of famous people. Mm-hmm. And I really love pretty much the entire main cast here. People in this get more to do than others, for sure. My favorites overall are definitely Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson, is that his name?
Ritchson?
Yeah. And Eiza Gonzalez.
Yes.
Those are like my favorite characters.
What's that one other guy? Her.
Oh, that guy was cool. I actually don't remember the actor's name, but I like his voice a lot.
Yeah, I love his voice. That's why he stands out to me a lot. Mm-hmm. And then, who else did I like? I think that was it.
Really? Yeah. You were just getting after me for
which one?
I was like my 3 favorite main people, and then and I said maybe 4.
Oh, you gotta let it go, man.
I wish Henry Golden got more to do.
That's true.
Because I'm just glad he's in something. Yes. Because I don't know what happened to him, but he was in Crazy Rich Asians, The Gentleman.
I love Crazy Rich Asians.
I do too. That one Emilia Clarke Christmas movie where she's like,
oh yeah.
I know the twist of that. Do you know the twist of that?
No.
It's like ridiculous.
Is it funny or like?
It makes sense if you like Hallmark movies.
Okay, don't tell me about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see
I like Hallmark movies. Not that they're like good, but I get a kick out of them.
Oh, okay, like those guilty pleasure type of movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember that one Will Smith Christmas movie where it's like the 7... Oh, what was it? It had a crazy ass premise. I'll tell you later because I cannot remember for the life of me, but that movie was insane. It had Edward Norton in it.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Hitchcock?
No. So...
One with Kevin James?
That's Hitch.
Oh. Damn, Hitch.
That's a good movie. No, with this, though, I don't know what my overall like negatives are with it. I think it's just one of those kind of entertaining sort of. We saw this like on a Saturday afternoon, and it's definitely one of those perfect types of see this in the afternoon. And then I'm not going to say you'll forget about it, but whenever I got there for the pre-show, it's definitely inspired by the sort of Dirty Dozen feel, that whole putting together a team.
Oh, yeah.
And they all act a certain way.
Have you seen all the Ocean 11 movies, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a good comparison. Yeah. Those are a bit more well crafted in that they kind of fit together like puzzle pieces. Yes. Although the second one, Ocean's 12. It's confusing to think about, was a little bit looser in terms of that, but 11 and 13 are definitely more tightly constructed. This probably feels more like the second one in that franchise. But that is to say, I really like movies where it is based on not just something that happened, but it's people being very effectively good at their jobs. I don't know if you know the full true story behind this.
Which one?
For this movie.
This movie?
Yeah.
No.
So it says based on a true story at the beginning, right?
Yes.
And it's based off of, I think in 2016, it was Prime Minister, Winston Churchill's whole sort of files came out, and he'd started something called SOE, which is what these people are.
Oh, so you're talking about the things that they said like in the very beginning at the very end of the movie too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was something that actually happened, but the difference between adaptation, and I don't know how you feel, so I'm going to ask you in a second about this, is in the actual mission in real life, no one was killed, no one got hurt. It was very effectively just people good at their job. So it's kind of funny because if a different adaptation existed of this, like let's say something by the person who made Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which I don't know if you ever saw that.
No.
But that one is a very straightforward, very by the book spy movie.
Okay.
Where it's just people being good at what they do. Yes. And that's the thrill of it. There's no like James Bond-esque anything, which is a funny thing that I'll get to in a second. But if I were to ask you, do you think that like creative liberty should be taken with adaptations? Or do you think it should just be like whatever tells the best story, style, anything?
I think that I think whenever I hear adaptations, I don't expect it to be, page by page, scene by scene, exactly the same way. And because I love having conversations like that, especially with people who've like read the book and then it's being adapted into the screen, like for as a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
And then just hearing their different perspectives on it, right? Because of course they're going there already into the movie or show with expectations of what they think the character looks like, what they expect the stories to be. But then it's also like, how do you expect to add so much of that, like all those elements from a book into a movie or even a TV show? Yeah. And also it's like you have to figure out like what can work on the screen and what can't.
Well, these are definitely different mediums for sure in terms of books, history, movies. So for example, like one of my favorite movies ever is The Social Network, and apparently there's a lot of details in that were changed, but does it make for like one of the best movies ever made? I think so. Yeah. And it's just an argument of what creative details can you change to make something more entertaining. And I would definitely say that you would want to put loosely based on a true story in something like that. But that also doesn't really matter. If you ever say inspired by or based on, that's how you can tell. Yeah. It'll never say something like this is an accurate detail.
Even with like biographies, right? Yeah. Whenever they do those movies, like when it comes to like musicians or historical figures, they always say like this is a true story, like this is based on a true story. And even then, like they just add other things, other elements to it, or even they extend a certain thing that happened in their lives just for an effect, for like an audience effect and all.
The funniest thing about the thing with Social Network is, do you want to know what has been claimed as the most accurate based on a true story movie ever made?
What?
Zodiac.
Zodiac? Yeah. I love Zodiac so much.
It is, I believe, described as 99% accurate. And the only thing I remember, like David Fincher's a person of detail. Yes. He's like the guy that's known for making like 50 takes of something in just for like a shot.
I just think about that Robert Downey Jr. thing where he's like, he pissed in a bottle because David Fincher's like, no, you can't. Like, you can't go to the bathroom. We had to do another take. Yeah. And so he would just piss in a bottle and then just leave it around, like the actual like set and everything.
The craftsmanship behind the movie is crazy.
It's like, guys, let people go to the bathroom.
It'd be funny if he just made that up. He's like, I just really wanted to pee in places and not have to go to the bathroom.
Oh man.
But I definitely think you can take creative liberties with stuff for sure. Something that I thought was really cool, I did not know until I saw and read some reviews for this, is Ian Fleming is in this movie. Oh, yeah. And I guess Henry Cavill's character was the inspiration for James Bond, which is not just full circle for us, because that's one of the first things we ever reviewed on here was No Time to Die. It's also full circle for Henry Cavill as well, because it's kind of ironic. Do you remember why he didn't get the part in the first place?
For James Bond?
Yeah. No. So he'd auditioned for it back when they were auditioning for Casino Royale.
Oh, okay.
And they actually told him that he was too fat to be James Bond.
Oh, dang.
And...
Really? Around that time?
Yeah.
When did Casino Royale come out?
2007, I believe.
When did he do Immortals?
Like 2010, 2011.
Oh, okay.
He said that sent him down like a spiral of working out. And I don't know what he looked like in 2005 or 2007 or whatever, but I'm probably going to look it up after this.
I think it's just one of those things where, of course, I mean, I used to be a fat kid.
Yeah.
And so
me too.
Anytime you look at photos, and so when you look at photos from the past, you kind of just want to like push it to the side and like, that's not me anymore. This is me now. But then it's like, you also have to learn how to accept the fact that you were that.
I kind of accepted it because I think some of the pictures are very funny. And
I think it's the funny part about that is when others see you, especially people who had never seen you like that before.
Like you forget that you meet new people that have never seen you in that way. Yeah,
exactly. And then they see you like, you were that. I remember people would always say, it's like, I just thought you always had a jawline, and I'm like, nope, never. and not until like later down.
Yeah, it's called getting older and taking care of yourself and all that stuff. It is cool though. I mean, this movie is I think Guy Ritchie has this penchant for strong men in movies doing cool things. Yeah. Because every single guy in this is just like, I'm like the coolest man in the world, and I think
it's funny. I love Henry Golding.
Yeah.
Golding. when he's like, I just like to blow things up. I was like, that's funny.
The way everybody dresses in this movie was, I was like, hey, I wear some of this stuff to work.
Oh yeah, like sweater thing.
Yeah, I love turtlenecks, and I love
what Alan Ritchson wears.
Oh, his like Henley, whatever it was. Yeah. That was awesome. I liked his glasses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're hilarious.
I really liked him in this like a lot, because I kept hearing people say that Reacher was this sort of show that has a very charismatic lead to it. In every clip I've ever seen, I'm like, is the show that he's this gigantic man that goes around and like beats people up? Apparently that is the show.
That's awesome.
But
he's so mean.
Yeah. And I didn't know a whole lot about him in general, though. Like, I didn't know why people gravitated to him. I didn't question it. I wasn't like, I doubt it.
Yeah.
But he does have a very specific kind of screen presence to him that I like when he first shows up in the first introductory scene with him and Henry Cavill on the boat. I was like, these guys are cool. Like, you immediately like them.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said about the fact that really are Nazis are so evil in history that you are allowed to do essentially whatever you want with them.
Insane.
And so this movie gets very violent.
Yes.
Did you like I guess you would call them action scenes in this? Did any of them in particular stand out to you?
Just the ones where I find it hilarious when I guess Alan Ritchson would be using a bow and arrow
literally every time. Yeah.
Against everybody else with guns. I'm like, that's so cool. Yeah. I think that's my favorite part though, because I remember in The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn.
Yeah, this movie reminded me of that too, actually.
And so it reminds me of I think it's James Gunn would then do certain scenes where, of course, you see characters coming at them where it's like whatever guns they may have, right?
Right.
And they're using something so ridiculous.
Yeah, like a spear or whatever else that they'd be using.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing when it comes to action sequences too. Oh, like John Wick.
Yeah, they're always like using Monkey Man too.
Oh yeah, Monkey Man as well.
Yeah.
It's just like anything like in their area.
Yeah.
I guess in their surroundings and just using it against somebody else in such a creative way. That's one of my favorite type of scenes.
Really like that. I would definitely credit the John Wick and the Raid movies for introducing that into action movies in general, because I feel like before they were using guns like a lot. Like
it was very straightforward.
If you go into 80s action movies, they're awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Commando, but that's
dude, I loved Commando. I've seen that movie like 6 times.
Really?
I believe.
I don't know if it was because Alan Ritchson has a very specific kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger like presence to him that I was thinking about that movie, but I was thinking about that movie.
I can see that.
Yeah.
If they ever remake it, I can see him doing it.
I do kind of miss the sort of, I guess they still do it, but that really straightforward, cheesy action movie. This still has a flair and a style to it. I don't think it's 100% that. It's not like, the smartest movie in the world or anything. Yeah. But it's kind of funny because Guy Ritchie, he's starting to make 2 movies a year. And
is he making another one this year?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know why he's doing that. But I mean, if the past 3 have all gotten good reviews, then why stop, I guess?
Yeah.
Because some of his movies do better than others. I really wanted to see Operation Fortune.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Is that a show or a movie?
It's a movie. It has Jason Statham and Aubrey Plaza in it.
Oh.
And then Wrath of Man has Jason Statham in it.
Oh.
Some people really like that movie. I know that.
Oh, okay.
And then The Covenant, I think he made with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
I love the trailer for that.
Yeah.
I did not know it ever came out.
Yeah.
I don't know why he keeps happening with him, but this one was marketed.
Yeah.
I think that I do want to specifically touch on the costume design again in this because it's awesome. It's like, I really like what they wear. I think Henry Cavill's facial hair in this is amazing. And
yeah, I'm growing out my facial hair again.
You remember when you were trying to get a twirly mustache?
Yeah. Now I have to do it.
Yeah. Whenever I told you, I was like, whenever I saw him with it, I was like, if Erwin could actually pull that off and not look like a man trying to serve me coffee at a coffee shop.
It's black. Here's your ice black coffee, sir.
I'm like, thank you.
Extra nitro.
And then you twirl your mustache.
Yeah, and I go.
It's evil Erwin.
Evil Erwin.
Erwin Reho. That's what I would call it. You remember when
it was like Derwin Reho.
We were at the Joji concert, and you told me that, and I couldn't stop laughing for like an hour.
Okay, we're not enjoying the concert.
It's because that one DJ was up there the whole time, and he was like, "Who's ready for Joji?" And then
plays Gary Come Home from SpongeBob.
Oh yeah. And he didn't come out for like another hour.
Yeah.
In terms of your flaws with this movie, and actually more of your positives, go ahead and tell me before you get into your flaws. Tell me more that you liked about this.
I mean, nothing that you haven't said, to be honest. It's just more of the same. I just enjoyed the cast, the action. I guess the moment you point out the costumes, as well. I like the one bad guy in the movie. He is very. It's obvious that he is a Nazi.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that it was very subtle. Like I remember when it was him and Gonzalez. What's her name?
Eiza Gonzalez.
Yeah, Eiza Gonzalez.
Yeah.
They were both sitting at this like small dining table, and like he had like a Nazi pen. On his shirt. I don't know why, but like it's like that little subtleness that I really enjoy when it comes to costumes.
Small details, and I really liked it created a sort of funny visual gag that's not exactly a joke, that they decide to do this during a like costume party.
Oh yeah.
That half of them are wearing costumes while this final action scene's happening. I thought that's kind of a different and neat way to approach something to make something unique and stand out.
Yeah.
In terms of flaws, though, what would you say?
None. No, I was kidding. I would say the only flaws that I experienced was maybe it was just paced. There were certain scenes that it wasn't paced well.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, I just thought it was really fun. I enjoyed this movie. I would definitely watch it again.
Yeah.
Especially because I love the cast of this movie.
Yeah.
So.
This, for me, kind of exists in the same sort of realm that you just described. Whenever we were watching this morning, I was like, I really like this. We always saw it together.
Oh, yeah.
I was right next to you.
Yeah. Hint, hint.
Whenever we were watching this, I was thinking, oh, this is the type of movie, if only Blu-rays were still a fucking thing, where if this was on... No, but like more present.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't like. There's only a couple places that still have them. If we were to go to Black Friday, go to Best Buy, and see this movie for like $5.99.
Yeah.
Ideal, perfect price.
Yes.
$7.99. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, no, I want this, and then
I follow this page on Instagram where it's about physical media, and they release how certain movies get released on 4K.
Oh, yeah, and some others don't. Mm-hmm. It always just depends. Like, Godzilla -1 still doesn't have a release date in America, but it does in Japan. So hopefully that means that it'll be here soon.
Godzilla -1 is coming to Amazon Prime, so...
Only in black and white, though. Did you see that?
Oh, no. I mean, I don't really care.
I mean, I'll see it again in that format, but I really want a color print version of it, too. In terms of flaws, same thing for me. I thought some of the pacing in this was a little wonky. I wouldn't call it...
I think it's Wonka.
That's a different movie that I really, really like. I really, really love.
I love musicals, guys.
Me too.
I can't wait for another musical to come out. What's the next one?
Wicked.
Oh.
Yeah, that one looks okay.
Yeah.
I love musicals that are not that one.
Oh man.
No, in terms of flaws, it was paced a little off. I think that could have been, I don't know if trimmed up or like maybe a bit more expanded on, either or.
Yeah.
But I really liked this. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I would also highly recommend it to anybody that asks if they should see it. I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. You'll have a lot of fun. I thought that the action was really good. I thought all of the actors were great in it, and I really liked every person's distinct personality in it. It's just not overtly incredible or really heavily flawed. It's just a very solid, well-made, good movie. What would you rate it?
4 out of 10. Wait.
Erwin, that's a bad score.
Oh, yeah. 4 out of 5.
Cool.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right.
That's funny because we always do this thing where even when we're with each other, we'll try and avoid telling each other what we thought of the movie. And I was like, I wonder if everyone's thinking the same thing that I am about this. But yeah, I was like, I really like this.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 for me as well.
2.
Erwin.
4 out of 10.
You said that so
I know.
confidently.
I was like, whoa, wait.
I was just like, we don't even do things on a 10-point scale. Maybe we should.
No,
that way
I hate that.
Do you
I hate
really?
the decimal one.
Remember?
Yeah, like a 4.7235.
See, that makes sense
out of
to
5.
me. That makes perfect sense to me because sometimes things aren't a perfect 4.8, but you're like, it's a little bit better than a 4.7.
I would rather us rate it where it's like, go watch this in theaters. You can watch it at home. It's rewatchable. Something, I don't know. Something like that.
Well, for now, we have a rating system. Oh, I forgot to ask you the new thing I was going to ask.
What?
Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or are you somewhere between?
Dude, that's good.
Yeah, I was.
No, I don't know what to say.
It's like, I love this movie now.
I just love that format now.
Yeah.
Love. I kind of just want to say somewhere between.
No, it's the question, but we're still going to. We're not gonna have like a 3-point scale.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah.
It's simple.
No, it's cool, right?
Somewhere between.
Well, I really liked it, so I guess somewhere between.
I guess I'm somewhere between love or hate.
Podcast. Erwin, what's up next?
I don't know. What's happening next?
I'm super excited for what we're reviewing next. We're going to be reviewing Luca Guadagnino's Challengers.
Zendaya?
With Zendaya.
What are your thoughts on Zendaya?
The other 2 guys.
And the other 2 guys.
I'm really excited. Are you really excited for it?
Zendaya?
No, the movie.
Oh, I'm excited for Zendaya.
I've heard it's incredible. So, if you could, again, please leave a star rating on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Say somewhere between.
Somewhere between Apple Podcasts
or
or anywhere else that podcast can be found because we're everywhere.
No, we're not.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.